Alright guys, welcome back. So Konami has finally revealed the rest of the lineup for Contra. This is the collection that I was really looking forward to. I love Contra 1 and Super Contra. I've played a little bit of Contra 3. It was something my uncle had, so whenever I went over at his house, that's the only time I could play it as a kid. So it was like, I still have fond memories of it, but Contra 1 and Super Contra are the ones I played. Some of the first NES games I actually ever played. Super Contra. And then I ended up getting it when I got my NES. So to see the final list is awesome because it's ones I want to play, and I don't own really any of them other than those two. So I mean, I have on emulators, but I'm hoping that the actual anniversary edition runs better than the emulators do on like my PC or my Wii or whatever other things I have it on. So let's go over the first game. So the first game, we have Contra. For the arcade. And yeah, I've played this a couple times, and boy, is it devastating. Now, I will say that I hope there's save points, or at least a mode to like make it a little bit easier. I'm all for games that are hard and having fun, and then the conquering of it and being like, yes. But sometimes it'd be nice to be like, all right, I've had enough. I really just want to play the game and enjoy it to the point where, yeah, there is some risk and some reward, but not just die, 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 die. A little bit of everything. So hopefully that one, has a little bit of meter to change the difficulty a little bit. Because, I mean, it is an arcade game from the 80s, and if you play arcade games, they just want your quarters. So hopefully this one's tweaked a little bit. Alright, so next up, we have Super Contra for the arcade again. I like the NES version myself. Like the style. It's cool to see the arcade version's graphics. And how it's different. So it's kind of like, I guess you could say that it's almost like a hard version of the NES version. Like, you get to play them, but then you get, like, it's almost like a remastered almost, in a way that the graphics are a little bit higher up and a little bit different, to the point of, like, it's like a remake. They're each their own game. So if you grew up with the NES, playing the arcade is kind of like a little bit of, like, an upgrade. You could look at it like that. I mean, there's tons of old games that get a little bit of an upgrade for the newer consoles, so it's kind of like doing that. It would have been cool if they actually did that in this collection, where maybe it's a full price game at $60, but all these games get like a up to date version of them now, kind of like a little ROM pack or something. That would have been nice. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is where it gets more into my territory. Contra for the NES. Awesome game. I love it. As you can see, the graphics are different, a little bit downgraded, you could say, in some way, but it was a flawless game, and having the code, playing the game, and enjoying it, like, I love all those levels. And I've beat it a couple times. Not very often, but I have beat it a couple times. And honestly, out of all your favorite games from like the old NES era, Super NES era, how many of them did you actually beat? Like, just beat every single level? And how many have you just are still your favorite games, but you've only beat the first like 2 levels and never after that? So, you know what? Sometimes these games don't have to be beatable. They just have to be fun to play for a couple hours and then move on. Alright, so next up, this is where we get a little different. Contra for the Japanese. The Famicom. So that's, the map is kind of cool. Shows you where things are hidden. Okay. I'm not sure how much different... Oh, the cutscenes. Yeah. That's interesting. I just want to play for the cutscenes, really. So, a little bonus. Different version of the game to see how it played across the ocean. I mean, I'm okay with that. It's not like... It'll probably be my go-to, actually. I'll probably play that one first, because I've already played Contra many times, so might as well see the differences. So, next up. This is where it gets, probably my favorite, is Super Contra. It just... I don't know, it did everything right. I love the above-ground levels. I really enjoyed having the different aspects. Hiding in the water when you're getting shot at is always fun. So it's definitely fun. I can't say more about it. It's awesome. So let's just move right on to the next one. So we have Contra 3, The Alien Wars. Uh, this one was awesome, fast paced, a little bit more intense than the ones to come before it. That's probably why I never really got far in the game, but you know what? Excited to have it. Now, this is where the next couple games are interesting because I don't know anything about them other than, they changed the name for the Europe release because they didn't want people and aliens. I don't know. They just figured robots were safer for them. Just like some games from Japan when they came over here, they're like, hey, no crucifixes. Or no blood. We'll make it goo or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. Let's go. Super Probotector Alien Rebels. Wow, I butchered that name. We're just going to keep it that. My tongue is not working correct. So, yeah. Came out in 1992. It's the European version of Contra 3 Alien Wars. Combat robots. Okay. So, I mean, here's a chance to see the game in a different view. It's kind of cool that they're robots. Let's go over the robot ones first. So then there's Protector. This is the Contra Hard Corps version in Europe. So, another robot version. It's cool. I like it. It'll add a little bit of scenery change, I guess. But really, Contra C, I mean, this is probably not going to be a good game from the fact that it's on the Game Boy. But, hey, it's another version to try. And hopefully have, top-down levels. I can't wait to see how that plays. Hopefully it plays just like it would on the Game Boy, and we'll enjoy it. Okay, so last but not least, Hard Corps, Contra. This one's 5 years after Contra 3 for the Genesis. I have this one, and I never played it. I had it when I was a kid, and then I had to return it because it didn't work on my Sega Genesis. And that's how I got Vector Man. So, I have it again, but still never played it. So this will be, it looks awesome. I always like Genesis graphics. I don't know. There's just something about it that really just goes with the way I like visually. So overall, that's not a bad 10 games. Early summer 2019. I don't want it digitally only. I'm kind of hoping that they decide to release it physically or another country does, so that way I can just import it because it's on the Switch. So hopefully there's a physical edition because that's what I'm going to wait for. I don't like digital games. I like having them on the shelf. It is what it is, but it looks great. So definitely a pickup. If I don't see a physical edition by the end of the year, I'll pick it up. So yeah, let me know which games are you excited for and which one do you think is the best one. All right, guys. Have a good night. Keep on gaming, and I'll catch you in the next